Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Open Up show. This is 161st show. Thank you for your continuous support. Today, we have an amazing guest to share her life story with us. Before we bring her in, I want to share a couple of things with you. My name is Sivam Velautham. I am the founder and president at Voice of Men 360. Voice of Men 360 is a non-profit organization founded in 2020, and it is based in London, Ontario, Canada. Voice of Men 360 was born out of seeing a tremendous need and stepping up to provide services to help support and overcome men, boys' life challenges. We are part of International Men's Day. International Men's Day has been serving for over 25 years, and so far, 95 countries around the world joined together and doing various activities regularly. IMD follows six pillars, which is the overall well being of boys and men. We follow in the same footsteps. Why open up? Because we men do not open our hearts and are not willing to share our matters with anyone. When we keep our emotional challenges within ourselves for a longer time, at some point they will explode and it will affect our health conditions in many ways. That is why we want to create an open space and allow individuals to share their life journey through our platform. We aim to create awareness about the life challenges, struggles, overcome, ups and downs that our boys and men go through in their lives. There are no limitations with the gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups in sharing your life journey. All walks of life can participate. Our goal is to make a positive impact on someone's live through this program. Open Up is on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We bring an individual to share to each show and let them share their life experiences with you. Before I introduce our special guest for today, I would like to go through our disclaimer. We would like to remind you that Voice of Men 360's mission is always delivered with good faith toward peaceful harmony. The views and opinions expressed in today's episode are those of our speakers and do not represent Voice of Men 360. Our organization engages in discussion forums to offer inspiration and create awareness of the issues of men who wish to overcome their life challenges. We are not providing medical or therapeutic advice. Should you require that type of assistance, we recommend you contact a medical professional immediately. If you have questions or concerns about today's episode or any Voice of Men 360 content, please email us at info@voiceomen360.org. Like I said earlier, we have an amazing guest today with us. Her name is Kim Singh, global mentor, coach, DEI, and mental health ambassador, global peace ambassador, global executive, woman empowerment advocate. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
Thank you for joining today with us and willing to share your life journey with us. Happy to have you, and also thanks to Vinita to connect with you in the short time. I want to take you a little bit further in your back, early childhood, maybe 5, 10 years, 15 years, or wherever you are comfortable. Can you share any incident that happened in your childhood that influenced or inspired in what you are doing right now? Because you have multi-talented position you are handling. Please go ahead.
And I'm speaking from. So thank you very much for having me on the show, and thanks to Vinita for introducing us. This is a great opportunity for me to be able to look at things in a different pair of lens because I'm all about women empowerment. I'm all about mentoring women. We also have two men that I mentor also, and I focus on women more so because as a woman and as a woman of color coming to Canada, starting out in corporate was not an easy journey. So I didn't want it anyone. I don't want anyone to go through the struggles that I've been through or that I'm still going through. So I'm helping to pave the way for a better tomorrow for our daughters. When I think about inspiration from a men's sphere of lenses that influence my life for the things that I'm doing today to help society and help our community, I think about my dad. My father did more than three jobs. I'm from the Caribbean. He did more than three jobs to put food on the table. And these are like janitor work, gardeners, very low end work, but they were honest living. And he had to do that from sunrise to sunset. We don't even know when he leaves work. He would wake up first thing in the morning and he just hit the train, come back late at night after doing his regular 7 to 4 or 8 to 4, whatever that job is, and then he would do additional chores. And I remember, weekends he would look so exhausted and and tired. I always used to question, why does he need to do that? But the answer as a child growing up, in a poor home. Your dad is going out there to do three jobs to put a roof over your head and to put food on the table. And for me, it was like, what can I do to contribute? So I remember at an early age, I started to excel in everything that I set my mind to, which is my school, task, homework. I started excelling, and from the moment I graduated, I convinced my parents to let me leave the city, the country where we were living in the village, and go work in the city. That was a huge challenge because girls my age at that time, once you graduated from school, you get married. But I had my father's support to be able to go and explore the world and be able to go work in organization, and that helped contribute towards our household. Like my two brothers dropped out of school just to help my father build a business in fishing, so that we, myself and my sister, can be able to go further in school, take private lessons, and be the person I am today. So huge kudos to my dad, who is still alive today, to be able to be that figure person that I look up on.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. That's my next question, though, to bring dad in the discussion, though. But before that, it's more challenges, of course, and especially for girls when you grow up, and also moving to another country is a bigger challenge. And not only that, but also, as a parent, it is not easy task at the same time that we had to do what we had to do, right? Everything
Mhm.
for happening for a reason, right? So my next question is that, of course, father in our life, speaking about men and men's platform, things like that. What kind of things you inspired or learned, or the bonding between the father and daughter relationship? Can you share some of the moments, if you don't mind?
You know what? I look at myself and I looked at the relationship I had with my parents, my father, my mom, and I looked at the relationship I still continue to have with them. My dad totally spoiled me. I was a tomboy. I get into so many trouble growing up as a kid, but I was the baby of the family. And he spoiled me unconditionally. He is 84 years and going very strong, thank God. And he still sometimes treats me as a child, which really bothers and frustrates me, but it's cute at the same time, because I feel as even though I'm this old and I have kids of my own, I am able to look at my father in a different pair of lens. And there's a true saying that every girl's first love is their father. That father figure, that father who has really put that bond between a daughter and a father. It's something that you can't separate. It's like a bond between a mom and a son, right? um, Sometimes when I think about, you know go back to the memories that I would have for him with him, it's he when he comes home in the evening, we all used to stay up and just wait on my father to come home. We'll sit outside and we'll wait, and I know when he's about to come, I'll run up to the front of the street just to get access to his lunch bag, because every single night my father would bring home a treat for us. And because I was the last, and because I was the baby and I was spoiled and my dad loved me unconditionally, I used to get access to the treats and be able to take out my share of it. I'd take out the best parts of it, and then I would go home with him and then reshare the portion that was left in the bag with my other siblings. I think it's a matter of how do you position yourself in such a way that that bond stays. I remember my mom. I used to get into so much trouble. My mom used to always find ways of, back home you get whooped. There is no excuse. You get either a belt or whatever she can get her hand on. And I remember I used to climb up our mango tree and just sit there and wait until my father come and rescue me. And it would be great for women to have that bond with their father, sons to have that bond with their mother, so they can leverage, each other knowledge and be able to pass it down to different generations.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. I probably have a quick question, but I would
Sure.
come back later on because I want to connect some of them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way we understand when we are growing up as a child or as
Mm-hmm.
a kid, it's a different. And then when you are right now reflecting on those moments, its understanding is totally different, though, right?
Yep.
Because we don't know their circumstances and then how did they grow up or what's
Yeah.
their father, I mean your great grandfather, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we when we put all together, it give a totally different perspective or understanding, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we blame our parents and then fathers, even for sake of argument, some boys. But when we go deeper, and then we don't know what kind
Mm-hmm.
of troubles or struggles they went through, right?
Yeah. And you know what? To dovetail into what you just said, you only learn that and you only appreciate when you become a parent. Like, like I said earlier, I was so spoiled. Like, my father spoiled me. But as a parent now, I see the relationship with my daughter and her father and the bond there. And I see the relationship with my son and I. And I start looking at my parent differently. Now I'm eager to go spend, weekends with them. I'm eager to go take them shopping. Like yesterday, I spent almost all day just driving them around and listening to stories. And it's just, I treasure every minute that I have in my parents now because he's 84 and she's 76. You never know, right? Times are limited. Like they're the last two living person in both sides of their family. So I value that and I treasure it very, very much.
Absolutely. And also I heard, if your um, parents, whoever is has the parents the longest life in their life, actually living longer with them, they are so much blessed, though, because it's a kind of like a tradition, or like you are learning, and then so much things, and then it's still they are being with you, right?
Yeah.
So you don't really lose them, right? But
Hmm.
anyway, let's move on to your professional world. I want to really talk about this, the men that you are dealing with, especially the corporate world. You have noticed in the past decade or so, in the 20 years experience or so, what are some of the challenges that men in the corporate world, I'm talking about the hierarchy positions, CEO, manager, so on, um, the root of the cause and some possible solution to eliminate those factors. So, what do you think?
I'm looking at it from my pair of lens, and these are my opinion. As a country, as a whole, we've come a long way. We come a long way to being inclusive. However, we still have a very, very long way to go. It's the true sad reality is it will take time for equity. It will take time for equality. And this is not just for gender. This is just for the broader picture, which is BIPOC, right? Black, Indigenous people of color. It's a struggle for both male and female to climb the ladder. Women have, their sisterhood of groups that they would go and try to get mentoring, that try to get sponsorship and try to be vocal about their situation. And because of that, they're able to move up little by little. Whereas what I've seen in men, primarily our culture, we're afraid to speak up. We're afraid to do the outreach. We're afraid to get mentoring. We're afraid to get coaching. We're afraid of so many things. The stigma of I'm the guy kind of thing is still there. If we take all of that away from us, from the guys, and we said, okay, let's do exactly what the women are doing today. Find a community, find an association where you can go and be free to say how you're feeling. What are some of the things we need in order to move up in the ladder, right? It's not easy without sponsorship and without mentoring. You can't. It's really hard. You can have all the degrees behind your name. It's not an easy walk. Like if you look at my titles, I have so many acronyms behind my name. It's not easy. I find as a woman of color, I have to work 10 times if not 20 times harder than a normal, woman of not, that's not discriminated or any way, shape, or form. It's that we feel we have to work 10 times harder, and I find that's the same for men.
Um, I see the reason why I want to ask is that because when we talk about suicide rate as a mental health advocate, you can see
Mm-hmm.
78 to 80% is men around the world. So
Mm-hmm.
there are not only in just an ordinary life or just normal people, but also there are a lot of people, even movie stars and other people, even they do suicidal, like attempt too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's we can see, okay, what CEOs, they make millions of dollars, but then on the other hand, when I hear some of the discussions or live talk shows or some of the speeches from the experts, they're saying, we don't know how much they are going through because they are under so much pressure, right, every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
And
that's, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I think it's when you're in a powerful position, either male or female, you want to make sure that your stress level is not seen and it's not heard, right? So that becomes, bottle up one on top of the other. And before you know it, you will explode, at some point, either at home or in the office, or, most of these mental health advocates, stories that we hear, people who have been there, done that, and have seen the ripple effect or the domino effect of not speaking up or not being able to find that time for themselves. And because like you said, the CEOs of the companies or the C-suite, they have an image to keep up. They have a reputation, and if they start caving in, they're going to be viewed differently. But we have to, as a society, we have to stop look at things in that way. Every person needs help, one way or the other. We need to find outlet. Like I did a talk the other day, on the mental health, and I pulled a stats that was done in the U.S. 76% of an employee says that their organization doesn't have enough tools to support them in the journey of mental health. And 78% of them say one way or the other, they will be going on short term disability, or they will have that ripple effect of not having that support system. That's like about $200 billion in the US for 1 year. Like mental health has become the new COVID, so to speak, because people needs to dehumanize to be able to fit in back to society. Like we were all parachuted into COVID, go lock into our basement or a corner of our house and work. How do we get back? That transition of becoming a human again is super, super hard. Worse than when we were parachuted into COVID.
Absolutely, it's like another pandemic that we had to face, or we started to face actually
Mm-hmm.
every corner of the country, every part of the nation. We can see, like we hear every day that, and then people started to talk about mental health. Mental health. It's now it's a kind of like a negative quotation too. you know, that's one. Anyway, so speaking of those situations and problems, how we can help from your perspective, Kim?
We have to encourage our boys to be more vocal. I always say to my son, if you don't open your mouth, you wouldn't get fed, right? No one is going to feed you if your mouth is closed. So we have to encourage our sons and our brothers and our nephews of the society to speak up. Find people that you can trust in. Find mentors that you can have conversation. Find support group to help you. If not, if you're still afraid, educate yourself. Read up on the good, the bad, and the ugly of mental health. Talk to someone if you're feeling low and depressed. Um, look for a way where you can level up your feeling. Right, mentorship is key when it comes to building your confidence. For as a mentor, when I looked at my mentees, I've taken them from, some people who are just sitting in their room working to finding a job. It's that whole journey of building the confidence one day at a time. Go out networking with people and then start having conversation. You don't technically has to go out there and tell people I'm not okay, which is okay not to be okay, but to build that confidence, you need to trust in you that I have the ability to go out and say, I'm not okay. How can you help me? Show me a way. And that's what we have to encourage our sons of today to be able to go and ask for the help.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And then also vocalize your emotional challenges. It's very important, especially
Mhm.
for men, right? Ladies, in some ways, they find some ways to vocalize it, or sharing, or whatever the way they find it, they will do it. But men is still they don't get the message, and then they think, okay,
Yeah,
you know what, I can handle myself. Don't worry. So I
yeah.
find a way, but it will be too late, though, right? So we need to break the cycle. We need to break the system, right?
Mhm.
So speaking about your profession, things like that, based on your observations and understanding from your woman empowerment advocacy works, how do you feel the level of understanding the women have when it comes to men and boys issues? What do you think?
I think if you take a moment and you pause, especially someone who's going through that same journey of trying to be confident and trying to understand some of their own demons and their own challenges within themselves, they'll have an appreciation for someone that comes, especially a male, to come to say, I am feeling the same way, I am feeling low as you are. What can you do to help? I think kindness and empathy is really, really key. Is something that has to be taught from infancy, something that has to be taught every single day. We need to be more kind and we need to be more open and have more empathy for people. Um, and in this case, we're talking about male and lacking of the ability to be able to open up. I've seen it so many times where guys are like you said earlier, no, no, it's okay, I'm going to deal with it. No, it's that you have to take a pause and encourage them to talk about it, encourage them that it's safe for them to come to you, encourage them there's places. Maybe you don't want to talk to me, talk to a group that you can recommend of men where they can be vocal. I think it's all has to be done in the name of kindness, so that people know you're feeling what they're feeling and you're able to relate.
Absolutely, yeah. That's where we see the kind of like a resistance, or maybe some kind of um, a lacking of maybe the enthusiasm, or like curiosity, or whatever we name it. But the seeking of help, it's very negative image,
Yeah,
or it can bring some kind of like a negative things to them. But on the other hand, if it's too late, too late, right?
yeah.
At least even if yourself you see somebody and then going through something, at least by asking them and then having a discussion, just maybe a couple of sentences, it can help
Hmm.
them, right? But it's a sad that what do you think, like from if we want to say like breaking the system or the cycle, how we can encourage them to come forward, or you know okay, you know what, I'm going through this situation, but I don't want to talk, or I don't want to seek help. How do you break the mindset, or can you help?
It's constant reassurance that it's okay
Mm-hmm.
not to be okay,
Yeah.
a constant reassurance to them to have um, listen to someone else who's been through the same. You don't have to speak up. Go to events where people talk about their situation and how they break that barrier. Go to networking events and start putting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to share your stories. You can go and listen and observe what other people are feeling and what other people are saying. And from then, you can build that confidence nugget by nugget to be able to go and start saying, oh my God, that resonates with me, right? Today I'm a mentor and I'm a coach on top of all the other things that I've done. I didn't start this journey because I just want to do it. I started going out and listening to stories and listening to people, and I start resonating like, oh my God, this happened to me. This is,
Mm.
I can relate to that. So we have to encourage. I think that the biggest challenge is to get people to speak up.
Exactly.
The hardest thing to do is to move that needle. We have to encourage them. We have to say, okay, it is okay. You don't want to speak about it. You don't want to talk about it. It's okay. Just let's go, to this event. Let's listen to what other people are saying. And eventually that cycle is going to break.
Yeah, and also isolating themselves is one of the major killer, I would say,
Hmm.
because you know what, if you, for some reasons, you know, anything would happen or anything can going on in their someone's life, and then they
Hmm.
want to isolate from the social circle or from anybody, but they don't want to have any kind of relationship or any kind of like you know, communication with anybody. You know, they
Hmm.
want to isolate them. So that's very fear factor, I would say, like you know, for everybody, right? If suddenly something happened and then you disappear from the system or disappear from the group and everything, and
Hmm.
you put you in the radar, right? Speaking about your mentorship, advocating, empowering things, so how do you see, or what do you think, like when you're dealing with the woman and then when you're explaining to them, empowering them, what they are, how they understand? Do you think they understand enough about men's issues, or is still, you know, it's very hard to, you know, go through it or something like that? What's your experience though?
It's there is this huge separation of men
Hmm.
in North America, as you can as you know, when it comes to everything,
Right.
when it comes to job, when it comes to association, there is a segregation. But if our journey are similar, so take for us, for example, we're both South Asian, West Indian background. We have a fundamental roots and values that we don't want to stray from, right? We're afraid to speak up. We are afraid to let people know we're vulnerable. It goes for our sons, it goes for our daughters, it goes for myself. I did not become this person that I am today 20 years ago. It take me courage to be able to speak up, to my life journey. And it didn't happen like this. I had to go to events. I had to read up and say, oh my God, this is me I'm reading about. That's why I started to spread the word of it is okay not to be okay. But to answer your question, I think women that are going through the same thing that men are going through, it resonates with them. If you haven't gone through that journey or you haven't understand the struggles of what it's like not to be okay, you will not. So the people that I mentor are people who are in the place where they want to be better. They're coming maybe from an immigrant background, and they're trying to move up in the corporate, or they're coming from just fresh off the boat, and they're looking for ways to navigate their networking and build that confidence. Those are the ones that I work in to empower them to be better than I actually found them. But I also make them aware that in society we have to be able to look at people, in the same pair of lens, regardless of sex, regardless of age, and regardless of color.
I think it's way of understanding yourself and also the life of others too, because
Mhm.
the pressure, it doesn't matter male or female, any gender. We are so much, everyone, we all of us are going through some sort of pressure
Mhm.
all the time, right? Day and night. um, and also understanding of pressure, at the same time the willingness, right? Okay, you know what, the way I see it, your journey is that okay, you know what, I went through this journey, but also I want to help empower women too, right?
Mhm.
Whoever has been through, whoever is willing to change their life, right? Because you cannot change everybody, at
No.
least whoever is willing to
Mhm.
change, you can help them. That's a way, in a way you can heal yourself, and at the same time you can help them. Because you don't want to just, okay, you know what, I earn the money, okay,
Mhm.
yeah, that's fine, I'm just taking care of my family. No, it's not like that. So you are helping other people to become you know, more successful or better understanding of their lives, right? So that's a beautiful, so what I'm asking is that probably you can help me with this. Um, do you think a mother can influence the confidence the same way as a father in a child tragedy?
Of course, 100%. As a parent, uh, it is your job to bring your kid up the best possible. It's like the best duty job title in the world to be called a mom or a dad, and that's something. It's a privilege, right? You have to be able to take that and own it. Like I always say to people, my best accomplishment, or my biggest accomplishment in the world is to be a mother and to be able to be that mother, perfect mother to my son and my daughter. And that goes for a father, right? I've been a single mom for 11 years now, and I've done a great job raising my kids with that their father is still there. But I think both a mother and a father can influence how that child is brought up. You know, take for example a single dad who has full responsibility of that child. He becomes that mother figure. He becomes that father figure, and here the one who have to impart all the knowledge and all the wisdom in the kid, like a mother would do and like a father. And it's similar with a woman. She does it the same. It's the influence in the upbringing of our children that matters, right? And how we, because remember our that kid when he was given to us at birth, the perfect little child, no issue, no challenge. Your job was to take that kid and mold him or her into this product that you want to be proud of, right?
Absolutely. So
It's simple.
exactly. Sometimes the argument, or some people may argue a different way, but it doesn't matter which way we go. End of the day, the father or the mother, whatever they can do
Mhm.
for their child, even in the absence of father or in absence of mother's, in the life of child, whatever they can do, they are always doing that genuinely, who are out there. But some cases, of course, some rare cases, there are some exceptions that
Yeah.
they don't have a blessed life, I would say, or they don't have a decent life, and they may
Hmm.
have a different experience, trauma, things like that. But that unfortunate, and then later on they will come across the breaking point, midlife crisis or something like that, and then they will start to learn their lives too. That's part of the life. So I just want to take a quick break and then come back to you. I just have a quick announcements, Kim. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Um, so far, Kim Singh is sharing her life journey with us, and then I just have a quick announcements. A special announcement is End Homelessness Citywide March, Saturday, May 25th, between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., London, Ontario, here in London. Asking for everyone's support from London and across Ontario. There are a couple of ways that you can actually help us, connecting us with potential individuals, organizations, businesses, government officials, and of course more. Probably you can organize your own event in your local area on the same day, March, and then sending a promo video. You can shoot a 30-second or 40-second or less than 1 minute video. What, I am this and this, and then I want to support this March, and then send it to us. And then you can share our flyer video with your networks, and then share the flyer with your social media platforms, things like that. Info at voiceomen360.org. On the screen, you can see the number, the 226 and 289-8784. You can call us and then get more details. And open up our weekly live talk show. This is what you are actually watching right now, Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Willie, it's a Tamil live talk show, is on Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And then monthly men's group meeting only for men by men, second Saturday of every month from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. through Zoom, no recordings. Um, you can join through Zoom. The link is available on Facebook. There are no limitations to gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups. All walks of life can participate in any of our shows. If you want to be a guest on any of our shows or willing to be part of our organization and help us directly or indirectly, please reach out to us. We would love to work with the individuals, professionals, experts, community organizations, associations, corporations, government officials, and businesses. Our phone number is 226-289-8784. Email address info@voiceomen360.org. Website www.voiceomen360.org. And social media, Facebook and group. We have a page and a group, Voiceomen 360. Please join our Facebook group, and then you can encourage others to visit and, of course, join. and Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels, Voice of 360. We have done over 500 episodes on various topics, so you can go and watch, and you can share your thoughts, comments. We want to reach out more people and help more people. Please continue your support. Coming back to Kim, what I want to ask is, as a woman empowerment leader, do you think there's a need for the same for men?
I think it's already there.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at large organizations, there's the saying there's a boys club,
Mm-hmm.
similar to women. However, if you looked at society, as we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
getting our boys, getting our sons, getting our nephews, our friends to go and have that conversation, it's the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find the group. Like today, I have two guys that I mentor. Even though I mentor women, like I'm a part of an organization. It's called Mothers to Daughters. We mentor primarily daughters, but on the side, I mentor a couple of men. I have 18 people worldwide that I mentor. Two of them are male, and they reached out to me because they were struggling during COVID. To deal with all the things that are happening to them. I'm not an expert. I just like helping people, and I think what we need to do as a unit, which is society, is to find that group or find a community that's going to welcome you. If it's your church, if it's your temple, your mosque, whatever that little group is, find it. Find your boys club, find your ride and drive, find your tribe that will be able to help you, help elevate you, right? I don't mentor people who has a great life. I don't mentor people who's done it all. I mentor people who's at the bottom and looking to find a way up. So I can help through my journey, my struggles, and in my pain, I can help them enrich their lives so they don't have to make the mistakes I make. They don't have to endure the pain that I have. They can now avoid those mistakes. So we have to encourage our sons and we have to encourage our male society, primarily the immigrants, ones that are coming with a different mindset that it's a taboo. It is not a taboo. It is okay not to be okay. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to reach out. All it takes is a phone call. All it takes is to start with a conversation. I need help.
Exactly. And also, one other thing is, of course, even if you make a mistake as a human being, we're going to make a mistake. That's part of the life. But
Mhm,
don't just stay over there and then blame yourself or blame others. You just have to come out and then start all over, or maybe you have to think differently and then fix the mistake, though, right?
mhm,
That's a way otherwise, you know sometimes some people, they blame themselves, and then they go through, or they take a different direction and then end up with nowhere. So it's of course, everybody is going to make a mistake, but at the same time, that how we going to learn, or what we going to learn from the mistake, right?
mhm,
That's important. So as a mentor, do you get asked to mentor men? Of course, you already told, but
mhm.
how is it different from women, though?
I use the same framework, so to speak, when I have conversation with
Hmm.
my mentees. I want to know what's working for them and what's not working, and we focus on the in between. How well is what's working for you working, and what is not working? What are the core reasons? So I go to the core of the issue, and I treat both my mentees, male and female, the same way. I want to understand their core issues and challenges that's affecting them to get to their goals. When you come to me and you ask me, Kim, I would like you to mentor me, I need to know why I should mentor you, and why did you choose me? What is it about me that you like, that you want to be able to replicate? Because when you seek a mentor, you're seeking a mentor that's someone who has lived that journey, someone who have that blister, someone who has traveled that path, and you can be able to leverage your experience to be a better person. So I use the same framework. I try to make sure my straw man is designed in such a way that it's help amplifying their journey one step at a time. And I think as society, we have to be able to treat our daughters and our sons the same way. There shouldn't be any sort of hierarchy when it comes to, our children or your sons or daughters of tomorrow. We have to be able to train them the same way, have them understand the values is not different. It's unique to both of them. And in society, we have to figure out, how do we encourage our male more so to speak up? When women are more chatty, they're more willing to open up. We go to events and where everybody starts yapping. Guys would just stand in the corner and observe. How do, like, if I go to an event and most of the time, if I see a male standing there by himself, I make it my duty to go and say, "Hi, how are you? My name is X, Y, and Z. How have you, what brought you here?" I start a conversation with that person that's standing there, and I bring him or her, depending on who that situation, to our group, introduce, walk them around, show, because everybody needs like a little guardian angels. Everybody needs somebody to take them, give them that one move. I remember once in my life, I took a lady to a networking event, and she goes, "I'm just going to go sit in the corner." I'm like, "Hell no. If you're coming with me, you're going to shadow behind me and you're going to see how I work that room." Right? And you go authentic, you introduce yourself and start out. And now she is like the biggest networking person. She goes there and she take other people and she help others. She's also a mentor. So we have to find ways of pulling people out from their shell that needs it.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. And then I had the same situation. That's my story too, because for a long time as a South Asian boy, and then I have fear, and then I have this and that, and then I kind of like a shy. I didn't really want to go, but at one point I decided, you know what, I want to break. And then the first thing is I decided to go out as much as I can to networking events, and then any small or larger networking events, and then talk to anybody, and then gradually I pull out myself from the circle. I mean the um, you know strap or the control mindset I had. So then I'm so much free, and then I can talk to anybody right
Mhm.
now. Um, Even if we come across a 500 or 800 episode that we come across, it's that's the way you had to push yourself. Otherwise, it never happened. And
Mhm.
also, like you said, somebody. I mean, most people they need some kind of at least a little push though. So
Mhm.
somebody they want to say, oh, you know what? Just go out and then do it, and then you can do it. Some kind of small push. That's all they needed, right?
Yep.
I love that.
You
Um,
need that person to nudge them a little, right? Um,
exactly.
and you'll find once you do it once, twice,
Yeah,
it becomes okay. I can do this. I
yeah,
can do this. I always remind my mentees, your thoughts are the vocabulary of your brains.
yeah,
Whatever you think, that's how
yeah.
your brain is gonna operate. Either a blue brain, green brain, red brain, whatever brain you are, that you're thinking, the crow on your shoulder is going to always tell you, "Don't go, don't go, it's not good, it's not safe." But you got to be risk averse.
Absolutely.
You got to take bold,
Yeah,
huge risk and tell yourself, if I fail, it's okay.
it's
i
okay.
am i am learning. Maybe this networking didn't work for me, or I opened up to this person who turned out to be not the right person. It's okay. We learn. Every failure, it's an opportunity to learn from it. If we can't learn from it, we have a problem. We can't look at it and do postmortem on it every single time. It has to be something that's really substantial that comes out of it for fuel or positivity. If we don't pull out the good out of that bad experience, we will never be able to fuel our brain to say, "You know what, I got this. I'm
Absolutely.
great."
I used to work a couple of organization or one organization for a couple of workshops, a big workshop, a 3-day workshop with 200, 300 people. And then I see the first day they come in like 200, 300 people, and then they don't want to sit together. And then the second day and the third day when they leave, they don't want to leave. They talk, they talk, they talk.
Mhm.
So it's the way of the human heart transitioning the
Mhm.
mindset though. It's all about the mindset, right?
Yep.
It's a very interesting, very amazing mindset. Anyway, I want to say really thank you, Kim, for coming and taking your time to share your life journey. Of course, you had ups and downs. At the same time, that you are willing to share your story. Maybe this is a good time to ask you, and then closing remarks. Why is it important to share your story, and what is it open up means to you?
I I think as a woman, not I think I know as a woman, more so as a woman of color, our stories are so great. You know, it's become our story and our story alone. But if we don't share it, we would not be able to empower people to take that bold step, to take that huge risk, and to be able to become a better person. Every single day I study, every single time I see something new, a course to do, I do it because I want to empower me. And that legacy is being passed on to people that I mentor, right? They're able to grasp out of that. I'm becoming a better mother. I'm becoming a better daughter. I'm becoming a better mentor in society. And I sit on a few boards. I'm becoming better and better, not just for myself. I'm not advocating anymore for me. I'm advocating for everyone else that looks and sounds like me, either male or female.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. And I also posted your email address and some other social media links, and then even Instagram and LinkedIn. People, whoever is watching, please check out her. And then if you guys need any kind of like, I just want to reach out and then see what she's offering, or maybe you may have some kind of questions. It doesn't matter male or female, but I would encourage everybody go and check out her and then reach out to her and then ask any questions or anything that if she's if she can help you in any way. So thank you, Kim, once again. Really appreciate for coming and then sharing your life journey with us today.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, Today we have Kim Singh, and then she shared her life journey with us. And then um, one last humble request to everyone. Of course, you guys are listening this episode, but not only listening and then you're going to think, you're going to analyze it, but at the same time sharing with other people, it's going to make a huge difference. So when you share the things you just heard, or the resources, okay, you know what, there's an organization offering this and this, maybe that's the way we want to create an awareness, and that's the way you can get to know more about men's boys issues, or even the guest that we are bringing every week. Probably we it will help us to reach more and more people and then serve more people though. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Thank you.